I've always struggled with tying my shoes. I once won a mile race in grammar school with one shoe because my shoe fell off and I wasn't going to lose.
No way.
What?
One shoe, Diana. Yeah. Chase is like, I'm sorry, what?
Kevin was so annoyed yesterday because we were walking up the stairs at the link and he's like, your shoes are untied again. Like, all right, dude, time.
I feel like you have a very soft tie, Chase, that she has, like where she does the 2 ears and then tries to loop the 2 ears.
She's the bunny ear tire.
No, those never last. The bunny ear tires. You
gotta do the triple knots.
Yeah, you go. Open around. Okay.
Like a sailing I need you guys to actually teach me this. Okay. I know. I should know this at my age. But
it's okay.
Right. Can't be perfect, boys.
All right, welcome into Scoop City on a Monday. I am James Palmer. We have the trio, the three amigos, every single Monday on Scoop City. It is Dianna Russini, the senior NFL insider at The Athletic. I'll get it eventually. Chase Daniel, forever in the NFL. That's why we have him on Mondays to talk these quarterbacks. How's everybody doing? Eventful weekend, guys. Eventful weekend.
Look, I love football this time of year because of the weather. It's still really warm on the East Coast. So I sign me up. I was at Lincoln Financial Field and it I know it was the thermometer only said like 82, I think it was. It felt like 110. It was
Stop
fun.
It.
Yeah.
Stop. 182 is not 110.
Okay, I'm being a little dramatic, but it's if you sit in the sun though, and you just
I feel that.
Game,
I feel that.
Then it gets you. How's life there?
It's great. It's this is my first weekend at home since football season started because we're transitioning to Wednesday night games on ESPN, which is cool. So I was able to coach my son's flag football team. We smoked the other team we were playing, of course, and then go to my daughter's soccer game, and she scored. I counted 8 goals. I was very, very proud. Like I'm like one of those dads that is like super proud of their kids. And I'm just like the dad, like here, like filming, like I can't get enough of it, but it was really, really cool to like see the kids have a little success at sports. And it was fun because they love it and it's cool and it's great.
Yeah.
I love it. I can picture Dianna Chase's camera when the goal, it's perfect camera work, but when the goal happens, it's all over. It's all over the place.
That's
the camera's
exactly
everywhere.
What it is, man. Yeah. I'm like her biggest fan. And same with my son. They're great.
That's awesome. Well, there was not a lot of smiles, Dianna, back in Philadelphia. How was it, considering Penn State loses to a winless UCLA team? Phillies lose the opener in South Philadelphia on Saturday night to Ohtani and the Dodgers, and then they're undefeated no more Philadelphia Eagles. I gave a lot of welfare checks on to family and friends. How is your husband doing? How's Kev doing? Is he okay?
Yeah, not good. I spent 24 hours in Philadelphia. So it was like Saturday afternoon, Penn State. Saturday night, the Phillies game, which we were supposed to go to, but we wound up not going. And then of course the Eagles. So yeah, it was a brutal ride back to New Jersey on Sunday night. It was not fun. James, I did learn something though.
Yeah.
People in Philadelphia get very offended if you include Penn State as a Philly sport. Whereas I was just going based off what I saw on Saturday when I was in the city. Mm-hmm. Everyone had Penn State stuff on. Everyone was watching the game. So I was like, the city loves Penn State.
All those Temple football fans were getting offended. Okay, I get it.
So what are they? What fans are they? Where's Penn State? Then?
So Chase, after the Eagles game, I tweeted out, rough 24 hours for Philly.
I saw it. It was an awesome tweet. It was a very well crafted tweet.
It was off of a text message Dianna and I exchanged, but go ahead.
Correct. It was perfectly put of just a rough 24 hours. It was.
It was real. Hey, speaking of rough, I got to throw this in before we really, and we will get to the Bills. We get to Drake Maye. Chase is going to break down Bo Nix.
Please
Dianna,
tell me
talk
it's a dead
about
body.
Rough morning. Like, what happened with Mac Jones?
Oh, yeah. So Thursday night, we saw Mac Jones beat the Rams in LA earlier in the day. So I guess part of Mac's like game day routine, and I've seen quarterbacks do this, they like to meditate and just take some alone time. And he was sitting on his balcony, and the team hotel is in Marina Del Rey.
I know exactly that hotel.
Yeah, and you overlook the water. And he was on the balcony, and he looked down, and he saw a dead body. There were a bunch of boats. And so he saw it, and he knew exactly what it was. And then the police came
Wait, so he was the one who actually like floating dead body in.
So a few people had spotted it when Mac had seen it. So police were already on their way. Like he wasn't the one that called it.
Wow.
But like he caught up with all the guys, was like, I just saw a dead body. Like this is nuts. And then the team was getting ready to head to SoFi, and the team bus was lined up, you know how it is, getting ready to take the guys over. And there's like a lot of police activity, and the coroner's van was like blocked by the team bus practically to get over. It was just a wild situation. And I spoke to Marina Del Rey police about it. They haven't had a murder or a homicide in like 40 years, according to this police officer I spoke to over the phone. So they were like, this would be crazy if this was a murder. Like we would know if this was a murder, but they're investigating. Like it's on the table, but it could unfortunately be a drowning. It could be a suicide.
Sure,
there's a lot of options, right?
Reporting. That's
in
crazy.
depth. I was thinking the same thing, Chase. Like
it's terrible.
Back to your roots, Diana, really. Really?
Well, it's so funny you say that. The police officer said that to me. He's like, wait, so you're a sports reporter? Have you done news before? I was like, yeah, I actually come from a news world. Like it was like kind of like a weird conversation we were having. Because he was such a nice guy to talk to, but he was like, I'm just telling you, people don't get killed in this town,
No, Marina Del Rey.
Let's move on to these two undefeated teams. And I think it's interesting, Chase, that they have been taken down by second-year quarterbacks that I think have a pretty good marriage with their offensive mind and play caller in both Drake Maye with Josh McDaniels and Sean Payton leading the way with Bo Nix in Denver. We'll get to both of them, Chase's thoughts on both of them, but I want to start with the Sunday Nighter. And also, with both of these undefeated teams go down, I mentioned it, we got to give a shout-out to Completist. They did say, I believe both go down in our comments on our show this week. They said, well, we put it out there. Which team's going down? And they said both. So they're both down. We have none defeateds no more. When you went and watched that game and watched the film, Chase, when you look at Drake Maye, is it crazy for me to say right now he is playing the best out of this entire group of second-year quarterbacks?
Wow. I wasn't going to put it like that, but I'm glad
Fifth
you
in
did
passing,
because
second in completion percentage this season. I mean,
I would say yeah. That's a great way to put it. I would say of the second-year quarterbacks right now, not only from a growth standpoint but actually just going out there and doing it, right? And when you watch the game, and I've rewatched it this morning again, because I really wanted to just like see what he was doing so well. And the thing that sticks out to me is accuracy. And he did some Josh Allen type stuff to a Josh Allen team. And I thought that was really cool because he's really good at understanding where to go with the football, but also when he breaks contain, and Collinsworth kept saying that he likes to go to his right. Yeah. However, it's really impressive that he's not going to wow you with his athletic ability, but he just doesn't take a ton of sacks. He's able to get out, and then throwing the football on the move is just really next level. And I liken it to a couple things. One, just Josh McDaniels and him they seem like they're on the same page. There's a lot more motion. It just looks like a completely different offense than it did last year. Rightfully so. It's a brand new team, coordinator, head coach, all that stuff. But this is a Mike Vrabel team, and you could just see even I think Drake took a sack, like right before the game-winning field goal, and Vrabel was over there. It's okay, like that was right.
He got back to the line of scrimmage essentially.
He got back to the line of scrimmage, like plays like that you won't be able to see on the box score. It's really next level. And here's the thing, though, guys. Before I let you go, Diana, Drake's been doing this all year long. Like this just got introduced to a worldwide audience when there's 26, 27 million people watching Sunday Night Football. Drake's been this steady all year long. So I just think he's now been welcomed to a national stage. It's like we're leading talk shows with him. We're doing this and that and another. We're leading this show with him because it is such a really good story of how much he's grown from last year when he didn't even, we talked about it before James was on the show. Like, why aren't you starting Drake Maye? And maybe they had something right with that. It was like, hey, he didn't play right away. He didn't kill his confidence and just making strides. It's been really cool to see.
Guys, if I told you that Scoop City would start their show to begin or to wrap up week 5 here with the Patriots.
No,
I don't know if I would have believed that, right?
Jeremy would believe it. Our guy.
He'd be like,
yeah.
I think we all knew that they would improve based on just knowing that they'd had better leadership in place, that Josh McDaniels has experience there, and that Drake could play. But the fact that we're now having a conversation about the fact that the Patriots now look like competitors, right? Which, look, they found their identity, right? Which is pretty cool to think.
Is this all Vrabel, Dianna? Is this already a Vrabel team? That's what I feel like. You spent time with them during camp.
They feel like the Titans of the North with a quarterback now.
Titans of the North with a quarterback. That's the title.
Yeah.
From when the Titans were under Vrabel, they believe in themselves. They're good at clock management. They had a lot of penalties last night, but that would probably get cleaned up when they're at their peak version of who they are. I think in the building, they had so much confidence that they could win this game. And I'm not saying that the locker room didn't believe it, but they needed to see themselves win and beat the Bills in order for them to know that they can beat anybody. I'll say the same thing about the Denver Broncos with the Eagles. Same thing. They needed to beat the best team to know that they can beat anyone. And I get that same kind of vibe coming out of New England. I think the fact that Stefon Diggs really had his coming out party, I believe, this season in this game. I know he had over 100 yards last week, but it was personal. He admitted it. It's one thing to say it's personal and be overly emotional and contribute, but the way he contributed to me is what stood out. I loved watching him on the sidelines. He was getting in all the guys' faces. I loved watching him after the game run into the locker room. I don't know if you guys saw that. They were going nuts. And this is why you bring on a guy like Stefon Diggs, who, look, we could probably do a whole show about his reputation, some good, some bad. But when he was on Scoop City, do you guys remember? He talked about how much he's looked back on his life as a player and how much he's grown. And it's one thing to say it and then another thing to see it. And I think we saw it.
Yeah, it was interesting. I remember in Houston talking to people, Dianna, when he went there last year, and they were like, we were told there were certain things Stefon will just not do. And that didn't happen when we got our hands on him. Like, he was open and did them. It was opposite of the reputation. It's almost like he built on that year in Houston that was cut short with the ACL and now took it a step further and where he's at with Mike Vrabel and company. I do want to make it known that it is wild that the comparisons of Drake Maye to Josh Allen are actually happening. I mean, Chase, you played the position. Josh Allen is a unicorn in the type of player he is, and that somebody is
how tough Drake looked out there, James.
I know, it's wild.
The toughness is what that was my biggest takeaway from him. Chase, you said accuracy, and I get it. That makes sense. But I could not believe, he was taking a few hits, but he just seemed to be able to navigate it very well. A couple of times I'm like, there's no way he's going to get up. He got up. He was fine.
Yeah, you know who he reminds me of? And I really came across this when I broke him down 2 years ago going into the draft was he and multiple offensive coordinators in the NFL have told me this when they were meeting with him. He reminds them of Phillip Rivers, good old country boy, big, strong, athletic, more athletic in the pocket than Phillip, but has that demeanor of nothing's too big. All right, man, it's just another game. And I really saw that.
Yeah. If you close your eyes and just listen to his voice, he sounds like Eli Manning. And I'm so glad you mentioned that because I was thinking watching him, his voice and the way he expresses himself doesn't match with the competitor he is, right? Because he does have a kind Southern way about him. And we're going to watch this maturation process too. We're going to watch him grow into all of this, into that leadership role. Because that was something I know that coaching staff was really getting on him in the offseason about. And getting on him is probably a little too harsh, but just, hey, look, you're QB1. You're the face of this franchise. You need to be a leader vocally.
Yeah.
And you saw it last night. I saw him going up and down the sideline, whether they scored, whether it was 3 and out, whether it was a field. I just saw him running up and down, which to me tells me he's growing into that role as well.
They were energized, man. And that was the coolest thing to see. And it comes from Diggs too. I really think they're obviously Vrabel, but especially for that game, right? The energy on the sideline, the energy of that team, you could tell even in practice during the week. from what I've heard, it's like Diggs is the one. And sometimes you get to a game like this, right? And it's a comeback game, or it's a payback. Hey, I want to get back at my old team. And it's one of those things where a lot of guys don't deliver. But if you're able to deliver in these moments, it just makes it that much more sweeter, because you do. And I just appreciate him saying that. Yeah, of course it was personal. So many guys say it's not. It's always personal. Yeah. I don't care what you think or what you hear. It's always personal.
The fact that New England is already showing some growth here is exceptional. And if you look at their schedule, pretty easy.
Yeah. It sets up well for them.
Yeah, at Saints, at Titans, Browns, Falcons, at Bucs, Jets, Bengals, Giants, and then the Bills 12-14. They could be in a pretty good spot heading into that Bills game in the middle of December if they keep playing well. Moving on to the other undefeated that went down, the Philadelphia Eagles. Dianna was at this game. We'll get to her boots on the ground in a second, but I want to start with you, Chase, on down 17-3 going into the fourth quarter on the road. To the defending Super Bowl champs, and you drop 18 in the fourth quarter. You win 21-17. Maybe not the start they wanted in the first couple of games, but what have you seen now from Bo Nix when you watch the film that maybe has either settled in or some aspect that you're seeing him from a quarterback's perspective?
Well, I think there's a confidence issue there that maybe wasn't there at the beginning of the season, because it just takes some time to play. And look, everyone knows the type of offensive performance they put up against Cincy last week. And people are like, it's Cincy. Their defense sucks, Chase. You don't know what you're talking about. As an offense, you gain confidence from going out there and being efficient and doing it. And so when you're able to do that, it gives you confidence. And I went back and I rewatched again the Bo Nix All-22 film on the Eagles. And they didn't look good the first half. Like there's just nothing. There was nothing open. Like I thought Bo Nix was getting out of the pocket too early. I thought that he was throwing the football inaccurately. I thought, and rightfully so, right? That Eagles defensive line is probably one of the better ones in the game, at least interior. But in the second half, something clicked. And what clicked was Sean Payton took over. Like Sean Payton, you're going to watch that game. You're going to say Sean Payton as a freaking play caller completely took over that game. Because here's one thing about Sean. When he gets into a mode of under center runs, he is one of his best at it, because everything come off the under center run, whether it's 12 personnel, 22 personnel, they got in heavy, they did sweeps, they ran outside, they ran jet sweeps, they did all sorts of stuff. And it really opened up the pass game, specifically in the fourth quarter for Bo Nix, because they weren't playing this two-high safety look. And so Sean got him out of the two-high safety look, then hit him. And even when they were behind, and coaches do this all the time, you rely so much on the pass. We're down 14 points. We need to throw it. No, just go one drive at a time. And Sean just ran the football up and down the field, and then Bo Nix in the red zone took over when he needed it most. And I'm not looking at this game saying that, oh my God, Bo Nix played out of this world, but I thought Bo Nix played really well in the scheme that Sean Payton did. And I think that's what really stuck out to me.
You talked to Sean last night?
No.
It's literally what he told me. Like almost every single thing you just went through about where Bo was at in the first, the adjustments that they made. Look.
It's like I played football.
It's like that offense. Why are you here?
What?
Look, I think the other part of it, just because I was there and I got to see it, but let's not underestimate the power of the link. Just that the crowd is wild, right? The Eagles head into this game with these narratives about a lot of disgruntled people. And they're not really narratives because they're true, right? Like we know A.J. Brown's frustrated. We know Devontae Smith is frustrated. We know Saquon Barkley is frustrated. We know the offensive line is frustrated. Everyone is bothered in Philly with the way this offense has been, because they've been inconsistent, and we've seen it every single week, right? They've yet to put together a full game that looks like the Philadelphia Eagles. And they certainly have not looked like the Philadelphia Eagles that we saw demolish the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl in New Orleans, right? They're not even close to what that was. If anything, I feel like the Eagles are now resemble 23 Eagles, right?
I know.
Like,
that's Chase has been saying that on the show.
A little, right? So looking at it from the Eagles side to this, you don't need to know football very well to know exactly what the game plan was, which is we need to pacify these receivers. We need to figure out a way to get them the ball to make them happy. Unfortunately, what the Eagles do so well is run the ball. So when they change the game plan to appease the receivers, and then look, the receivers have been frustrated from what I can understand or from what I was told. Not so much about not getting touchdowns. Yes, they want the ball in the red zone. It's the type of targets they've been getting, right? In what part of the game they're getting the ball. But then they go out there, they put this game plan together where they're throwing the ball more than almost, I can't remember the last time I saw Nick Sirianni's game plan where they're passing the ball that much. What, maybe one or two other times?
80% of the time they threw the ball. That's not the Eagles. They're never going to win games like that.
Correct. That's not them. So to not only see that, but then to see some sloppiness, right? To see some bad route running, which we saw with that A.J. Brown situation where he didn't see the ball, but then he saw the ball. You know, the whole thing was not good. But it's very clear that the Philadelphia Eagles are struggling right now, just finding and figuring out what it is they are. The Philadelphia Eagles have an identity problem. That's what it is. They don't know what they are. They have a new offensive coordinator who is still adjusting. And I was told everyone needs to give him some time here to figure out what he wants to do. Nobody wants to hear that. But there's just no rhythm to this offense. And this is where I want to see Nick Sirianni step in, right? We have been so critical of him on Scoop City. And guess what? We ate it last year because they won the Super Bowl.
Good thing I wasn't on last year's show.
And everybody said to me, you are too hard on Sirianni. He is good. All right?
I think he's good.
Let's do it. I want to see him make these adjustments. And I say that out of respect because I believe him. I believe in him. I think they're going to get this fixed. I just want to see him pinpoint what the problem is and get after it. And I want to see a Philadelphia offense against the Giants that makes me go, okay, this is it. This is the team that we know could probably make another run.
Do you remember, Diana, last year when we were hard on him, the head coach, that Sirianni, he completely changed the game plan for the Philadelphia Eagles after the bye week. You remember last year they were 2-2. And I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure they were averaging like 40 pass attempts a game. And they're 2-2, and rightfully so, that Atlanta Falcons team, they're throwing it, drop, stop the clock. Kirk Cousins goes down, leads it, all this stuff. And what did they do after bye week? They completely changed who they were identity-wise to running the football. And I'm pretty sure during that huge win streak, I don't know if I think Jalen Hurts averaged like 25 pass attempts a game. So they completely said, Jalen Hurts is not winning us the game throwing the football. When he has to, he does. Let's run the football. My issue, you knew that. You won like 17 games or something crazy, like whatever it was in a row, or 17 a night, or whatever it is. And then you go back to pacify receivers to what you don't do well, that you change your identity to last year, and you throw it 44 times. Like that's not success for Philadelphia. They're never going to have success throwing the football like that, ever. No. Like, that's just not who they are.
There's a couple things.
45 rushing yards is the fewest in a game since 2018 for them, since week 14. 2018. Jeez, you're still playing football.
Yeah, I was. I was still playing. I was in Chicago.
Yeah, you were in Chicago. You were getting some play time there. But I think you make a really good point. I think they stepped away from what they're doing well, right? Saquon said it best, that he actually kind of thinks losing, not saying they want to lose, but this could be good for them, right? Winning has it's not even pressure. Winning has a way of masking a lot of issues and mistakes. And the Eagles were winning, and there have been issues.
You talking like a coach.
Is that coaching?
That? Yeah, it was. That was nice. That's impressive.
First of all, I was a Division I athlete.
I'm joking.
We won a lot of games, and our team would stink sometimes, but we would still win. And you would not work on those things because you were so excited about winning. I think Philadelphia has been guilty of winning when they've had problems.
Winning is the worst cologne.
The problem. What?
Winning is the worst cologne.
You're so annoying. You're just throwing sayings at me now, mocking me.
Well,
I'm right, though. I'm right. This has bubbled up.
You're right. You're right.
Listen, I think a lot of times, a lot of what happens offensively goes with a play caller, right? What did Sean Payton have at the top of his play sheet on Sunday? distinct code to himself about sticking to the run, about sticking to run, sitting at the top. He wants an identity as an offense. We kind of saw that. Chase hinted on it a week ago when we kind of started to see this offense come together, when the play action can be used more, when they run the football more. If you look at where they were last year running the football and why Sean kind of revamped this entire backfield, Chase, was 13th in attempts last year, 6th in the NFL this year, 16th in yards per game last year, 5th this year, 21st in average per carry, 6th this year. They can run the football that helps your quarterback, and they stuck with it and found their identity. I think Kevin Petula is still finding that identity for some reason. It's a run-first offense. They're still searching for that identity. Yeah. Chase, we do need to get to you breaking down Bo Nix. That's why I said this on what's happening.
But okay, let's see
what's happening with this young quarterback and why maybe we're seeing a corner turn. What's happening here with Bo?
Well, look, you said it perfectly. We're getting 2 plays to show you. It comes off the run game, and these are both red zone plays. I thought that Bo Nix, for the most part, during the red zone was really efficient. You're going to see this first, and we're going to roll through it a couple of times before we pause it. But they call this play.
Love this play.
This is a 2-point play, actually. This is actually the play of the game. How about that, by the way, of Sean Payton going for 2? You
like
call
7 minutes and change to go.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. Just a ballsy play. And you call this play, we literally call it slipper naked right, Z escape. And all it's talking to is Franklin right there, number 11. You're going to come in, you're going to go out. But I want you to watch, and we'll let this roll full speed. Bo Nix, how quickly he gets rid of the football. And when you show it again from the back view, the difficult thing about this throw is, first of all, James, and Dianna, he's on the left hash. Pause it right there. When he's throwing the football from the left hash, Troy Franklin's not even looking at them. You can roll it now. And you have to be so pinpoint accurate with this throw, specifically from the back. You let it roll a little bit. It's very difficult as a quarterback to, one, not only get the laces from under center, right? And we can pause it right after the fake, guys, when he goes. But to get it and then to be able to pull the trigger like Bo's able to do. Look at his eyes right there, James. They're already looking at his number 1 receiver. We can go ahead and roll it the way through and get to the next one. But something like this, to me, just shows the trust, the arm strength, and the accuracy in which Bo Nix is moving the team down the field, but specifically here in the red zone, because stuff is a lot tighter. Windows are a lot tighter here in the red zone. And I thought it was just a really good opportunity to show fans what it was.
Let me ask you one question, as you know more than me and I on this play. When I see them motion to the same, first off, you get to put the ball wherever you want when you're going for 2, whatever hash, wherever you'd like to be. They put it on that hash, Chase, and then they motion to the same side as Cortland. Are they relying on the Eagles reading a tendency and using Bo's arm strength to their advantage with the play call then?
Well, look, I think that's probably smart to say and probably right. Here's the thing that I like about it. So many teams nowadays in 2-point situations, they put their guy in gun. And you're like, okay, it's pass or it's rollout. It's pass or it's rollout. Here, they put them under center. You can still run the football under center the way they're doing it. There's so many, and you're seeing this trend overall in the NFL, like under center plays with play action and run. It's way up compared to what it was last year. I think like 10 or 15% more. And so I think implementing that into the offense has really helped the Broncos.
Yeah, and Sean Payton got his 173rd win as a head coach, beat out his mentor, Bill Parcells. Big moment for him. Something, too, this past week in Denver, James, I'm sure you heard it when you were around the locker room. So they had this rule where you weren't allowed to talk about London. Chase, you know how Sean's always like so insane about details? He makes a really good point. He was saying to me after the game that what happens sometimes when you're planning trips, right? It's a little bit like planning for like a Super Bowl in a way, right? You have the logistics and your family's coming, your parents are coming, you're packing. And you're thinking about all this stuff during a week when you need to be thinking about playing the defending Super Bowl champs, right? Like, and he just had a rule in the facility. It was like, no L word. You cannot talk about London. He's like, basically get your act together, bring your suitcase, and we'll figure it all out. But he's a little bit of a mad scientist that way because he's right? Because look, they were really focused on this win, and they were on the bus after the game, and they were blasting the Rocky soundtrack.
Ooh. Look at that. Blast of the Rocky soundtrack. It was, you are, Diana, that's totally fitting, because when I talk to people in the locker room there in Denver, it was like, Sean has been pumping us up. He's been telling everybody, all three of us, that we're one of the elite teams in football. We could be the team coming out of the AFC. They circled this as, if we want to do that, what happens? Philly plays close games. They're defending Super Bowl champs. We're on the road. We have to show that we can close out a game, win a tight game on the road in that situation. Hell, this team could be 5-0, honestly, if you look at the way some of the things have fallen in their two losses. So we'll see what ends up happening as things continue for the Broncos. They can now talk about London because they're already there. How about the Ravens? They like to talk about anything other than football, I think, right now. Just absolutely mollywopped, Chase, by the Houston Texans, who struggled out of the gate. We all saw them put it together offensively against the Titans last week, and then they come out. I don't think C.J. Stroud was even playing midway through the fourth quarter in this one. Diana, I want to put it to you first, because we've kind of been exchanging texts, talking about this, what's happening. What's the plan in Baltimore right now? With obviously the injuries are a big part of it. Is it just survive till the bye? Is that the thought right now?
Yeah, well, it all starts with the quarterback, and we know Lamar wasn't ready to go. And if you just take a look at what he did last week, right, we knew by Friday he was out, right? They didn't even take it up to the game. Sometimes when it's, close, we'll do more of a game time decision. Maybe they'll even make that call on Saturday. They called it on Friday. So they've got the Rams coming up here. Then they've got the bye week, right? With hamstring injuries, he hasn't missed that much time. So that tells me that they're going to probably try to be careful with this. Look, we'll see how he does this week at practice. But, I don't think it would be that surprising if he misses this game against the Rams. So he does get that 2 weeks a rest before he can get ready to go. But I can just tell you, I think inside the building right now, they're searching for answers. They're trying to figure out how to fix this, how they want to do this, where the problems are. It's when you're at this point in the season, when your players are who your players are, right? This is what their roster is. And they're dealing with a significant amount of injuries. But that's still not the only problem they have, right? They've got other issues, and they're trying to figure out what they are and how they can fix this and turn this around. This is a team that I think I had them winning the Super Bowl this year.
Your Super Bowl picks the last 2 years have not been good.
And this feels like the furthest thing from it at this point, just based on what we're seeing. And they are letting more of their opponents score points against them than any other team right now. And that's not something the Ravens are known for. We talk about identity crises. They probably have the biggest one.
The Ravens have given up 40, 38, 37, 44 points.
It's just brutal. It's brutal. And I think they gave up 17, and that was the Browns when they were, I believe, struggling. So, I mean, it's a little different. Chase, I want to ask it to you this way, because talking to people around the league, it's like, yes, there's a ton of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. I also don't know when guys get healthy if that fixes it. They can't get to the quarterback. The middle of the defense doesn't have the beef it had a season ago. When you go into a bye, say we're going to talk about after this Rams game, whether Lamar, it might be leaning towards him not playing. What happens in a building that is searching for answers, like Diana said, during a bye week? Take me in the facility in a bye week.
Yeah, sure. It's the worst feeling in the world. I've been through it a couple times, and it's just an empty feeling, because you get to bye and you're really not sure what to do. You don't know, as players at least, what the coaches are thinking, what changes are going to be made to coaching staff, what players are thinking about and talking about to other players. And so it's just an eerie feeling, versus if you go into a bye week and you're rolling, it's like, man, let's get some time off. Let's keep it rolling, man. We feel good. Just, outside of that, on a losing team, it just doesn't feel the same. Like, you can't enjoy it quite like you can. And you're always worried, like, what's happening? How can we fix this? How can you do this? And I think the biggest thing for team is like, hey, just rest, understand that, there's a long shot at this, that we can make the playoffs, but if we get some troops back, like, I just think something needs to change defensively for them, because I just think, like, look, I understand they're without a lot of their legitimate players. But it just looks to me like they're just giving up. Like, this is the worst defensive play. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I know, is it scheme to you, though? That's what.
it might be a little scheme. It might be a little bit players and effort. And I think that's the hardest part. What Harbaugh has you have to figure out the why. Why are we doing this? Is it schematic? I mean, the scheme didn't change from last year, Diana. The scheme didn't change from 2 years ago. And look, it might, but it's hard to place something on this. But sometimes the best thing to happen is a coaching change. And the best thing to happen is something like that. And it's hard to say. It's hard to say that. And I know it sounds like a scapegoat for Zach Orr, but like the players aren't leaving. Like they're still there and they're just hurt. And so it's a really weird feeling going into bye week when you're losing like this. Yeah,
I'm curious about.
We got to move on, Diana. I'm sorry. We only got a limited time with our man Chase. We got to move on with this bad. We got to move on with this bad boy. I'm sorry. This is what's being told to me. We got to move on. Coming up, Scoop City on a Monday. We're going to talk about our favorite flavors. Maybe each one of us is going to pick a player that is performing well this past weekend, but maybe this entire season that deserves a little more love. More of that coming up on Scoop City. Welcome back to Scoop City on a Monday. James Palmer, Dianna Russini, Chase Daniel with you. We are each going to take a player that has stood out to us, not just this weekend, but maybe as they've played the course of the season and deserve a little extra love. These are our favorite flavors. Chase, I think I saw you record about this player in a car, I believe.
I was parked.
Okay, good. You weren't in motion. Go ahead. Fire away with your favorite flavor.
Yeah. Look, if you guys don't have this dude high on your list, then you guys just have a little hate in your heart. And that's Dak Prescott. Like Dak Prescott for me, and I know I've been on the Dak train, but as like a former player, like I see the game a little differently, obviously, but I see it from I hate looking at stats. Like just stats do not tell the story of how a quarterback plays. Now I can at times do it, but this player, Dak, he has amazing stats, but it's also the small things that he's consistently doing to make this offense. I mean, they're the number one offense in the NFL, and it's clearly because of Dak. If you look at what he's able to do without 4 starting offensive linemen, without their number 1 receiver, and without their number 3 receiver, with an unproven back, with a tight end that is making the next step, and taking the next step. Like, I don't even know. Flournoy led the Cowboys in receive. Who's that? Like, I love the dude. Great. 19, you're a baller. I looked at you. You're awesome. Like, great 50-50 ball catch. I don't know who you are. And Dak Prescott is doing it with a leading receiver that you don't know who he is. And so I just think that, look, Dak's not going to win MVP this year. Like, I just don't think the Cowboys are good enough because their defense is just But when you look at actually playing the position of quarterback and getting into and out of the right checks, making sure the protection is corrected, like he had a 12-yard gain, okay, in third quarter, up 30. And you're going to say, Chase, who cares about a 12-yard gain on a pass? He started a guy in empty. He motioned him in. It was a running back. He went through his cadence, a double count. Saw that the Jets were in cover 0, checked protection, slid the line left, checked to a 12-yard out route to the slot, and was able to throw it all within 30 seconds. Like, just his mind is moving at a rate, and his body is keeping up with it. He looks in the best shape he is. I just think it's the best player in the NFL right now at playing the position of quarterback.
I think a better way to put it is he is the best player playing the position who isn't getting the attention or the advantage because his team's not good.
Yeah.
You know?
And people love to hate the Cowboys.
He's on the Cowboys, honestly. So I'm assuming somebody's paying
love
attention.
To hate Cowboys.
All right, I'm going to do something you don't like, Chiefs. Okay, ready? So my flavor is 4 game-winning drives, only 1 interception, 10 passing touchdowns, almost 1,300 passing yards. He is my early MVP.
I actually love that.
Right now, in what Baker Mayfield's doing, how he's doing it, how much fun he is to watch. I know we joke about how he was called Clint Eastwood, and we really want to find a better term for him. But
I don't know. I kind of like it.
I like it.
That's a Halloween. Can't you picture Baker being Clint Eastwood for Halloween, by the way?
Hells to the yeah.
I can see that.
He does that. Yeah, he seems like a Halloween guy, right?
Yeah.
I swear, I feel like some of these guys, once they become parents, they go a different level. It's like some weird dad strength or dad intelligence. Even Dak is someone who, it gives you another perspective
on life, that the football aspect is not as important as you once did. It gives you balance in life, and people play better. I'm telling you.
I believe that. I think anyone listening to this that is a parent can say that their life changed because you care more about things less. You can, you can let it go quicker. So for me, and by the way, the reason why I went there is because I was just having this image of Baker on the sideline, and he always has his beautiful little daughter with him. And he just seems like he's running the world right now, and he owns it, and he's talking trash to people in the stands, and just finding ways to win. And just watching him duel with Sam Darnold was just awesome to see. Both these, obviously, the story, the quarterbacks making their comeback. So for right now, he's my MVP of the league.
Yeah, that's the first quarterback in NFL history to go throw for over 375 with fewer than 5 incompletions in a regular season game, which is bonkers. I mean, it was awesome to watch both of those guys go at it. At the same time, I will say there's probably a lot of people watching that game going, in certain situations, in certain buildings, going, we really kind of let that guy go, didn't we? I'm going to go with a running back. You both went quarterbacks. I'm going to go with the Octopus. That's my new nickname for him. It's Jonathan Taylor, the Octopus. Dude, he's balling. Do you guys know what an octopus is in the NFL? I didn't know this.
Hey, yeah, what is that?
It's when you get all yourself. It's when you account for the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. He was an octopus on Sunday. He's leading the NFL in rushing. I feel like, Chase, this is maybe the running back that doesn't get any attention over the course of, the last 5 years. The most attention he got, I felt like, was when he was holding out a couple of years ago. That was the only time we talked about him. But he's been outstanding in terms of catching the football, explosive runs. They've loved his balance. They've loved the way that he's been able to be physical, break tackles, yards after the catch, yards after contact have been outstanding. And he's a home run hitter. I mean, he can still take it to the house and run between the tackles. He can kind of do everything you're looking for in a back. And this offense is so efficient, so for real right now. It has been fun to watch it. And a big part of making that offense go has been Jonathan Taylor. Could be Offensive Player of the Year. We'll see if it continues. All right, one more break before we close out this Monday edition of Scoop City. It's going to be our Sunday Scaries. We do it every Monday, but this is the Meltdown edition with a performance by a team that they're going to want to burn the film of. Also, nice little shout out to the Scoop City newsletter. Went out to over 1 million football fans this Monday. Outstanding. More Scoop City coming up next. Welcome back to Scoop City on a Monday. I'm James Palmer, Dianna Russini, Chase Daniel with you. The Arizona Cardinals with a performance they'd like to forget. At home, no less. Up 21-3. Then they just kind of kicked and dropped and spun around their way out of OW and now have given the Titans their first win of the season. The big meltdown of the weekend. I don't know if anybody else was getting like text messages of like coaches that were in their game at the same time this game was going on going, hey, what happened with the Cardinals? Like, what went on with the Cardinals? I want each person's just initial take. Start with you, Dianna. What
you should do is make us read a text. Okay. Yeah. I have a text from a friend of mine that works in a medical unit of a news organization. And she texted me that the people in her newsroom are wondering if players are blacking out. Like they think they think there's like a medical issue.
There's a rush when you try to score a touchdown.
And I said that, I go, I don't think it's medical. I think it's adrenaline. You know, like she was thinking that it was something, but I just thought that was funny that even people that aren't even football savvy are like, is something medically wrong with these guys that
euphoria
doing this before they cross the end zone?
Listen, that's not the only one. Chase, before you answer, I just want to remind everybody, I watched Kyler Murray take a snap off the helmet and off the face and then not go after the ball at all. And that's a turnover. I saw him run around Swirly Bird 3 times and just throw the ball over his head for an intentional grounding. We also saw an interception by the Cardinals, then kicked around a little bit into the end zone that resulted in a Titans touchdown. And then Diana's talking about massive ball dropped at the goal line once again. Again, my text, bro, we were playing. WTF happened there. Is JG going to be okay?
Like so bad.
Chase, you were around the league forever. Have you ever seen a team lose a game the way that the Cardinals lost that game?
No. I mean, absolutely not. They should be embarrassed. They should be like, what are we doing? Like, look, you have a chance with the Cardinals to go up 28-6 with 12:42 remaining in the game.
Against the Titans.
against the Titans. And you drop the ball, which this is what the block should be about. Like, what are we doing? I've been in teams where they talk about it. Mm-hmm. Carry the football through the end zone.
Have you ever had a conversation with somebody that's done it? Have you ever asked them? Have you ever talked?
No.
Like Deshaun, remember when Deshaun Jackson did it a bunch of years ago?
I do think there is a layer of
he was a Redskins then.
He was with Philly then. It was like a whole yard before. It was a whole yard before the goal line with Deshaun. Yeah, he's done it more than once.
Hold on, I need to Google
ridiculous.
This.
Look, but while you're Googling it, let me know, because I do think that, like, when you are scoring a touchdown and you're not used to scoring a touchdown, you have this rush of blood to your head and euphoria that is impossible to feel like that in very many aspects of life. However, hold on to the football. Yeah, that's the worst thing in the world. And you end up, I thought the craziest thing was you throw an interception, you get a touchdown. Like, hey, the interception, touchdown. And then just like the Cardinals have lost last 3 games on game losing kicks, but by a combined 5 points.
5 points.
Yeah, by a combined 5 points. I mean, it's they're kind of right there. This game needed the Benny Hill music. If I'm dating myself with that, where like the people just run around in the old Benny Hill show.
You know how a lot of teams put together the low lights of the week to show their team, like, hey, don't do this. They should just show this game.
Show the game.
Just show the game. Don't do this.
That's a tough one.
That's a real tough one. And like, they were kind of my sleeper of the year. Like, and they could have been in an all right spot.
How about Italians?
Let's go. We're on the board here. We're on the board here.
Yeah.
I got it.
That's cool.
I got it. Okay. All right. Before we go, because Chase has got to run, I put something out, and there's a lot of comments on it on my Facebook. So not a lot of comments because it's personal, but you guys are my friends, so we'll talk about it. Which clothes do you like more? Winter clothes or summer clothes? Because we're in our transition right now into our fall winter clothes.
Good girl.
I'm going all fall winter clothes, baby.
Yeah, because it covers them up.
Chic. There is no better place on the planet than New York City in the fall in terms of style and fashion. I mean, every street's a runway. I am not part of it, but I like to watch and take notes. I was actually doing that at the link yesterday. I was looking at I never do this too. So I need to probably do it more. I was looking at what all the women were wearing. Like, what's in style now? Because I feel so out of it. A lot of
Did you steal that from Sex and the City? Like, the streets are runways? Like, that sounds like something that show would say.
They probably took it from me, Yes. But I do watch a large amount of Sex and the City, so maybe just seeped right in there.
You watch that show? Come on now.
It's different.
I got to go fall too, because fall in San Diego is like summer, so I get to wear shorts and a sweater. It's shorts and sweater weather in San Diego. Like
shorts and a hoodie. Is there like anything better?
That's
and
what
you
I
guys
wear.
look good in that stuff too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But all right, that's actually a better way to put it, James. What do you like the opposite sex in? Do you like girls in summer clothes?
I like my wife. I like my wife in summer dresses.
Yeah, all guys like dresses. Yeah, you guys aren't like, oh, give me those gloves and jackets. Sign me up.
Put on another flannel. Let's go on a date.
Put on a flannel, button it up.
Jeans, a nice sweater, and boots always gets you look nice. So
yeah, I think so. Well, we're kind of switching a little bit into we're not into cold weather football yet. When I see Melissa Stark in short sleeves in Buffalo, we're still in the early part of the season.
Yeah, that was
crazy. What's happening in the NFL? Dianna, wonderful to see you. See you on Wednesday. Chase, see you next Monday. This was outstanding. I love the breakdowns. The quarterback stuff is just through the roof. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. We'll answer. We threw it in there. Compilist. You got a little love today. This was Scoop City. Take it easy.
Thanks for watching Scoop City. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. New episodes of Scoop City drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.